Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for December 20, 2022, the Charges Referred Edition. We begin with that story from the New York Times as the January 6th committee, I should note the bipartisan January 6th committee, refers the former president for criminal prosecution. The committee accused the former president of inciting insurrection and other federal crimes. It's, however, up to the Department of Justice to actually make the prosecution. Next up from the Wall Street Journal, Epic Games, maker of Fortnite, is agreed to pay $520 million to resolve FTC allegations. The Federal Trade Commission had claimed the video game developer violated online privacy protections for children and tricked players into making unintended purchases. The FTC said the agreement consisted of 2 record-breaking settlements that resolve a pair of civil complaints filed against Epic. So the FTC is finally getting some teeth behind their enforcement. Next up from the FCPA blog, Richard Casson reporting, who breaks the story, as usual, of a new FCPA settlement. Honeywell settles an FCPA case for $160 million. And part of it will go, or there's a credit of $39.6 million to Brazilian authorities in a related action, and the SEC has agreed to settle for $81.5 million in disgorgement. The case involves bribes in Brazil, as well as Honeywell Belgium hiring an intermediary to win business from the Algerian state-owned energy company Sonatrach. And Elon Musk put out a poll on Twitter asking whether or not he should remain as the CEO or step down. Well, guess what? He lost. Twitter users decisively voted that Musk should step down as chief executive, a backlash against his inane destruction of Twitter literally over the past 6 weeks since he's joined it. Whether or not he will follow this poll, as the users of Twitter have now clearly spoken, it's going to be unknown, but he was banking that he was loved, and he obviously is not getting very good information from those around him after the Dave Chappelle incident. It's no surprise here. So, bye-bye, Elon? Question mark. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.